Hey guys, what is up? It's Retro here, and welcome to a Spider-Man PS4 sequel speculation video. Yes, today we are going to be discussing my most wanted suits for the sequel, Spider-Man PS4. There's some suits which were unfortunately missed in this game. Judging this game are pretty solid suits. Hopefully we see some of them return, of course, like the Raimi suit and, well, all-web suit, if you want to call it that. And of course, like the advanced suit, if that's not the main suit for the next game. All the pretty solid suits for this game. Hopefully, like some of the less popular ones will get removed. So, and hopefully we make room for new suits. So these are my most wanted suits for the game. Of course, this is my opinion. They're not facts, obviously. So yeah, let's get into this. So at number 5 we have the Spider-Man Unlimited animated suit. So basically what this suit is from the short-lived animated show called Spider-Man Unlimited, hence the name of the suit. Basically what this show was Spider-Man, the same Spider-Man from the 1994, I believe, animated show, traveling to a different dimension on a rocket ship that's piloted by John Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson's son. And basically what happens, they end up in an alternate dimension which is run by animal people, Thundercats looking things. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like a Spider-Man character story to me. But one really good thing about this show is the suit. My god, the suit of this show actually looks so cool. The bright yellow lenses really add to the suit. You can't, like, the shade kind of hides a lot of the suit, like the black. I'm not sure if that's actually part of the suit or the shade against the suit. So we're not sure if there's any actual web detail on the suit thanks to the shade. Uh, Another really cool detail that stands out to me is the sort of massive spider emblem on his chest. It's a very bright red. Yeah, it's very bright red. It looks really cool. Another cool thing they could add if they want to make it look a little bit more different to the Spider-Man 2099 suit, because this suit does resemble it a lot. They could sort of maybe put the cape of the suit on the back or underneath the arm, something like that, to sort of show some difference. I think it'll add a nice touch to the suit. So coming in at number 4, we have the suits in the Identity Crisis storyline. So those who don't know, the Identity Crisis storyline is when Spider-Man is trained for either robbing a bank or something else. I can't really remember, but something like that. And basically what Peter Parker's now got to do, he's got to find all different identities for his superpowers, which isn't Spider-Man, obviously, because he's been framed. So these suits would probably make a really nice touch to the game, because there's a bit of history, obviously, like, as we've seen with the other suits, like we've had Ends of Earth suit and the rest of the suit from the last game, well, this game, obviously. So for the sequel, I think these would be good suits. So we have 4 suits, obviously. So we have Dusk, who would be super easy to make. It would just be a model swap of whatever suit they want. They just have to black everything out and have. You could probably keep the lenses, just black them out, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. I think that would make a really nice suit if those are just, I don't know, photo mode or something. But even though you can get rid of your Spider-Man in photo mode or whatever. So carrying on, we have the Ricochet. Ricochet would be a little bit more harder to make in game, judging you have to put in his hair and his leather jacket and everything like that. But I think it would be appreciated to have in the game because it's more unique than some of the other suits it has to offer. So you got like the whites instead of like the normal red and blue and stuff like that. Of course, like the hair on the top is it's a nice change to what we normally get in Spider-Man games. And we have Prodigy. Yeah, I believe Prodigy. Here he is. So I think the yellow and silver will be a sort of course, another change to the red and blue we normally get. The silver could be shiny, or they could just go for like a normal sort of matte, like white color. But I think if the silver shiny, it would be more appreciated by the community. Of course, like we have the yellow outfit on him. I think it looks really cool. Smaller eyes if you wanted that. I guess I suppose it looks really cool. And then we also have the Hornet suit, which I wouldn't personally use, but you can't have one and not the other, if you know what I mean. But all these suits have been in previous games, most notably the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which it's not a great game, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. The suit in this game his mouth didn't move, making it really weird, like and disjointed, but Obviously, it would make a nice touch, and it did include like the Hornet backpack, which Spider-Man used to fly around with. But of course, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he couldn't fly with it. I wouldn't expect it in the sequel to Spider-Man PS4 either, because it wouldn't really make sense for a Spider-Man. So it would just be there, just as an accessory, like added detail type of thing. So yeah, that's why I think these two should be pretty good for the game. So next up at number 3, we have the Alex Ross concept art Spider-Man suit. Yes, we haven't seen this suit in a game since the Spider-Man movie game back in 2002, I believe. So yeah, so if this suit was actually made, this was a concept for, the movie, which the game tied into. So this probably would have been the movie suit, if the webbed suit wasn't designed afterwards. You get some real Superior Spider-Man vibes from this suit, again, because it kind of looks evil. Instead of the blue, you have like the blacks. It's very sleek looking. The complete like reflective black lenses would make a really nice touch inside Spider-Man PS4, in my opinion. Of course, like he got that it's pretty big spider emblem on his chest as well. Like it's an unusual shape. Kind of reminds me of like the original logo Steve Ditko used to draw for the original Spider-Man comics. So yeah, I think it would be a really nice touch, judging we haven't seen this suit since, of course, the first movie tie-in game. So yeah, that's why I want that suit, in the game. Right, for this next pick, I suggest you skip to this time code if you don't want spoilers for Spider-Man PS4, because this next pick does contain mild spoilers. Right, hopefully everyone skipped now who don't want spoilers. So my number 2 pick is actually the symbiote / black suit, because we do find out at the end of Spider-Man PS4 that Harry Osborn isn't actually, like he says where he is. He's actually been experimented on, because he seems like he's come in contact with Venom or some other symbiote. Hopefully this will get expanded on in the second game, because it seems to be the plot of the second game, hopefully. Yeah, I am aware this suit has been done to death about 1,000 times in probably 90% of all games, all Spider-Man games even, which have selectable suits. Hopefully they give it like a slight redesign to sort of integrate it with the Spider-Man PS4 world. Of course, probably would, include like, as its suit ability, some sort of like tentacle sort of thing, similar to like one of Venom's abilities. How it might even actually be something you have to unlock through story, not just buy with tokens as you normally would with suits in the Spider-Man PS4 games. So hopefully this actually happens, and hopefully it will be a pretty cool suit. So my number 1 pick as my most wanted suits inside of Spider-Man PS4 Part 2 are the suits from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. It's almost like Sony wants you to forget about these films. I'm not sure why. Yes, Avi Arad has ruined them. He ruined everything. Like he ruined the original trilogy. He ruined the Amazing Spider-Man. So I don't really think they should be completely forgotten as such. I just feel like I just don't really like the way Sony are treating them now. As just people want, they just want you to sort of forget about the movies. Again, like I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was kind of but both suits are actually really cool. Like the first suit, is known as the basketball, as certain fans call it. I don't really think it looks like that. I just think it just suited the movie. Like it was all grounded in reality, and it looked like something, a high schooler could make. It doesn't look like a multi-million-dollar Hollywood outfit. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Then in part 2, we probably had the best looking cinematic Spider-Man costume to date in the second movie. I think the reason that suit wasn't in the game, it has a striking resemblance to the classic suit it's called. It looks really similar to the classic suit inside of Spider-Man PS4. But I just always find it a little bit weird how we've had every other cinematic Spider-Man costume. Of course, we've had we've had every MCU costume. So we've had the homemade suit, we've had the Stark suit, sorry. But we haven't had any of the Far From Home suits, which is understandable because the film isn't even out yet. We've had the webbed suit and we've had the Spider-Verse suit, but we haven't had anything from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. which kind of sucks in my opinion. You know, they just wasted potential, like, in my opinion. So yeah, I just really think they shouldn't be forgotten about, and I think they should be in the game. So yeah guys, that's my video on my most wanted suits in the sequel, Spider-Man PS4. Of course this includes suits which have been in the previous game, because I expect most of them to return. So yeah, so like and subscribe if you want, I would not beg for it. So and I'll see you all guys next time.